we don't give a damn who the killing is for.
Welcome to the 10th Oakland International Film Festival, and I am here today with Michelle Mitchell. She is the producer, the director, the subject the person who is a crazy person who traveled to Haiti and uncovered a serious situation in Haiti, and we're just happy to have you here today in our festival, Michelle.
Thank you so much for having me, for the film, having the film here. We're all excited about it. It's such an honor to be here. It really is, and we're thrilled to be brought to this audience,
right on,
which is young, cool, and incredibly sharp. So it's great to be here.
Right on, right on. Can you share with us? The film is called Haiti, Where Did the Money Go? Okay. Now, how did you come up with that title?
That was the question I asked when we started doing this. I said, where did the money go? And that's what other people kept asking. And I thought, well, you know what? In this age of Google and YouTube and all that stuff, you put in Haiti, where did the money go? It was a very easy subject to start researching because more than just I happened to be asking that question. So that's how we came up with it. And we weren't going to change it, actually.
Okay.
At the end of the day, we thought, you know what? This actually makes the most sense instead of having something esoteric. It's like, let's just ask the question everybody asks.
Right. Now, but was that after you saw the situation in Haiti? Did you ask that question, or did you kind of already know that before you left?
Well, this whole thing started because I was trying to learn French, and my French teacher, who was from Haiti, went in March of 2010 to Haiti and told us about the situation in the camps. And I thought, well, what happened to all the money? Where did it go if it's not trickling down already? Now, I realized after 3 months, already maybe too much to hope for. But we went for the first time at 10 months after the earthquake, and believe me, by then we were absolutely asking where it went because it was the conditions were so appalling, and that was 10 months afterwards, and there seemed to be very little excuse for what happened.
Yes. And can you describe what you first saw when you arrived?
Well, yeah, even as the plane is landing, it was a sea of tarps and tents. And many of them were torn, many of them were leaking. The shelf life of a tarp is about 4 to 6 months. Yes. So a lot of these needed to be repaired or replaced. Right. And they were everywhere. They were in what used to be parks. They were in alleyways. They were up against churches. It was almost overwhelming to go down the street and see that people were still living this way. And it was hot too. To go into those tents, your lungs hurt to breathe. And they're living in conditions like this for, at that point, 10 months.
Right. So let me ask you, where did the money go? And what I mean by that is, what good things did you see in Haiti?
I saw a lot of very good efforts on the part of NGOs like Oxfam America, Oxfam UK, Doctors Without Borders, a lot of smaller NGOs like We Advance, some human rights groups like International Action Ties. I mean, these guys were all using money in very efficient and focused ways, which were fantastic. And I could go on and on with them like that. The problem are in some of the larger NGOs where they basically calcified their relief efforts, and the money was not trickling out. And in fact, there were significant questions to whether it even actually left the United States, because a lot of times this point has been a contentious one with some of these NGOs. The fact is, they didn't spend a lot of it right away. About a third, less than a third, had actually been spent, for example, by the American Red Cross by the end of year one, and they raised almost $500 million.
A third of it was spent after year one.
I mean, they were in like the hundreds of millions, creeping up into 200, which sounds like a lot, but it wasn't. And these people were suffering, and conditions were getting worse. So they were keeping that, and they were earning interest on it. Whether what they did with that interest money, they can contest. I can't tell you what they did with it because there are no regulations that these guys have to follow, and they don't have to report how they spend that money. So even if you and I really wanted to know, we couldn't find out.
Just curious also, like when you heard the conditions from your friend, what day, how long did it take you to decide, well, I'm going to go there and cover this particular story?
I knew at that point this was the story I wanted to cover because I can track where the money went. I can track corruption. That was my specialty.
Okay.
And I can go into places where conditions are pretty bad and get people to talk without and get them to forget a camera's there.
Yes.
And those two things. I mean, one of my friends said, "This is the story you were built to tell," and maybe that's what it was all about. Maybe we were a little startup company that gambled everything on making this film, and everybody was 100% committed, and it happened, and it made it onto TV, and it made it here. So it was completely worth it. If we can get people talking, facilitating the dialogue about how to do better at doing good, then we did our job.
And I know that it also was something that was presented to Congress as well.
Yes, the Congressional Black Caucus sponsored a screening, and they were all there. And famously, the Red Cross, American Red Cross, showed up and shouted from the back of the room, and Congresswoman Yvette Clarke from New York got up and said, "You know what, this is an in-your-face documentary, and there are organizations that would have us believe that our eyes are lying to us." And I've never forgotten that phrase, "our eyes are lying to us," because at the end of the day, tape doesn't lie.
Right.
It's not like we created the situation and then put a camera on it. I mean, that's what we found. We shot what we found.
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, we want to definitely thank you for coming, and we will continually be in contact and see if we can, support this effort.
And we can't wait to come back and do it again.
Listen to you. Well, thank you so much. And sign off from the Oakland International Film Festival. Thank you. All right.